Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, raise your right hand high in the sky. Reach down below your seat and grab that seatbelt. Some of you are still looking. There's no seatbelts on board. Welcome aboard, folks. My name is Captain Brian. I'll be your boat captain for this beautiful 35-minute cruise today. I'll be your tour guide, and if things go horribly wrong, I'll be your... But you don't have to worry about them, folks. Believe it or not, these boats have a better safety record than the Titanic. Hey, did you know that the swimming pool on the Titanic is still full of water? Alright guys, right here, Eisen is on me for a safety brief, folks. Eisen is right here for a safety brief. Folks, for your safety, please remain seated at all times. Keep your arms, hands, drinks, cell phones, kids inside of these wooden rails. This isn't no smoking vessel. There's no smoking, vaping, chewing tobacco, or wacky tobacco. Now, you're more than welcome to have a conversation with your other guests on board today, but please keep it down to a theater level and respect for other guests listening to the tour. If you happen to find yourself under the water today, don't be alarmed. I have life jackets on board right under this hatch. These two volunteered to help me out. They're in a brand new wrapper because we've never had to use them. However, if you go in the water, I am obligated to throw you one. I'll do that, and then once you stop screaming, I'm going to ask you to stand up and walk out. It's only 3 foot deep, folks. Y'all ready to have a good time?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. You ready to have a good time?
Yeah.
You guys ready to hear some history of San Antonio and the Riverwalk? Are you ready to be bombarded by a bunch of corny dad jokes?
Yes.
Then you're on the right boat. Welcome aboard, folks. Look right behind me. You'll see this beautiful stargazer. Donated in 2022 by Mexican artist Pedro Reyes. He made her out of over 80 pieces of Mexican volcanic stone. She's looking to that marble star. Some say she's looking to the past. Some say she's looking to the future. I say she's looking to see if the Cowboys will ever win another Super Bowl. Hey, not this year, but next year. Next year, we're going to draft Taylor Swift. As soon as she breaks up with Kelsey and writes a song about it. That's going to be a good song, though, right? Yeah. All right, folks, what do we celebrate in December? Who's got a birthday in December? Any birthdays? Look at all these hands going up. Round of applause for our birthdays. Happy birthdays. Now, what about anniversaries? Any anniversaries? Right here and here. All right, how many years up front? How many years?
16.
16? Yep. How many years? 10? Ladies, how did you do it? Oh, I know the secret. Happy wife, happy life. Nothing rhymes with happy husband. You just get over it, right? Yeah. All right, round of applause for our anniversaries. Happy anniversaries. Now, does anybody sprechen Sie Deutsch? Anybody speak German? Nein, sprechen Sie Deutsch. Look right here on the right side of the boat. You'll see that church steeple up there? That is the lovely St. Joseph's Catholic Church. That was built back in 1868 by the Germans in the area. They wanted a place to worship in their own language, so they built St. Joseph's Catholic Church. Now today, every fourth Sunday, St. Joseph's hosts an all-male German choir, and they sing hymns in the German language. So if you're yearning for a German sermon, come check out St. Joseph's Catholic Church. All right, as we come up to this bridge right here, you're going to look off to the right, and you're going to see this beautiful red spiraling artwork. It is called the Torch of Friendship. You may have seen it while walking around town. It was donated back in 2002 by Mexican artist Sebastian. He describes his artwork right here as two actors running together, sometimes complex, sometimes in harmony, but never far apart, describing the relationship between the city of San Antonio and the country of Mexico. Now, artist Sebastian unveiled a new artwork recently here in town over by the public library. It is called the Doors of Equality. It stays right there in the traffic circle next to the public library. Folks, back in 1968, San Antonio hosted the World Fair. Organizers of that World Fair realized they had a problem on their hand. All these folks are coming from around the world to hang out in San Antonio, but they were short hotel space. They needed a new hotel built, they needed to build quick. Builder H.V. Zachary comes to the table and says, you know what? I can build your hotel pretty quick. As a matter of fact, if I don't get it done in the time that I promised, I'll sell the entire building back to you for $1. Pretty confident, right? Once we get behind this walking bridge, look on the left side of the boat, look up high in the sky, and you will see the beautiful Hilton Palacio del Rio, left side of the boat.
That's one I stayed at.
See it up there, folks?
Yep.
How long do you think it took Builder H.V. Zachary to build all 500 rooms of that lovely hotel? Who says 2 years?
1 year.
Who says 1 year?
1 year.
Who thinks it was less than a year?
Less than a year.
Folks, he built that entire hotel, all 500 rooms in under 7 months. Yeah. How did he do it? I'm glad you asked. I get to tell you. He built the first 4 floors right here on site, along with the elevator shaft up the middle. But you see how those rooms above the floor look like concrete boxes sticking out? Those rooms were built 7 miles away as concrete boxes on an assembly line. They were fully furnished. The beds are made, the towels are hung, balcony on one side, hallway door on the other, plumbed, everything ready to go. They were hauled in by truck, lifted up by a special crane into place. They got so good at stacking those rooms, they were supposed to be doing 10 a day. They were stacking 35 rooms a day. And they finished this hotel here in 202 days. Yep. You can see it for yourself. Look it up on YouTube, and you'll see the Hilton Palacio Del Rio being built. Now see these guys right here on the right? These guys are jealous of you. Because these guys are waiting for a boat ride, and you guys are on your boat ride. Don't worry, let's wave at them. Let them know we're thinking about them. Don't worry, their boat captain's coming to pick them up, and they're going to get the same tour you're getting. The only difference is, the boat captains at this dock actually have a license. Now back to this hotel being built, folks. My favorite part about the hotel being built is builder H.B. Zachary and his wife were the first to check into a room. Guess how they checked in? They wrote the first room being lifted up by crane into place from 522. Talk about room service, they brought their room to them. Now straight ahead, we've got the lovely La Villita. That means little village. Way back in 1722, Spanish soldiers stationed at the Alamo, they made this their home. By the mid-1800s, both French and German settlers made this their home. Here in the Battle of the Alamo, Santa Ana had its cannon line right here. Looks like we've got an event going on. You guys, I should have told you guys ahead of time. Get your hair and makeup ready. You guys are about to be part of a show here. Get that, here, look at this. Parade wave like this, guys. This is your parade wave. Get it ready. All right, you're about to be part of the show.
Almost there, guys. 30 more seconds. Check. One, check.
Believe it or not, they're not here to see this band. They're here to see you guys. Actually, they're here to see if I wreck this boat again.
Okay, guys, just I apologize that we thought that you could have open flames, but we've been requested by the Arneson Theater folks that we cannot have open flames. Okay, so you kind of have to blow those out. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll sing you happy birthday and y'all can pretend. Check. 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 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
All right, isn't that neat? Now you guys are going to be in so many people's family albums all over America now. All right, right here, going up the river, you'll see cattle right here. This is the Briscoe Western Art Museum. The Briscoe opened up in 2013, named after the late Governor Doc Briscoe and his wife Janie. Some of the artifacts you'll find in this museum include a restored Statescoast from Wells Fargo, Pancho Villa's last known saddle, Santa Ana's ceremonial sword, and a really neat interactive diorama of the Alamo. Before it was the Briscoe, this was San Antonio's first public library from 1930 to 1968. And from 68 to 2001, it was the Hertzberg Circus Museum. You guys see the bridge coming up? It is our lowest on the water. I'll do my best to go right down the middle, but please watch your heads. I don't want anybody getting a free haircut here. Also, please resist the urge to reach up and grab this bridge. It's got really sharp edges. Now, believe it or not, folks, this bridge right here comes to us all the way from Berlin. Yep, Berlin, Connecticut. What's neat is this bridge is held together by nuts and bolts alone, no welds or rivets. It could be disassembled if need be. As a matter of fact, this bridge spent its first 30 years over on Market Street. Coming up right here on the right, you'll see this artwork titled Father Massenet's Table. Placed there in 1991 by local artist Rolando Bresciano to commemorate the 300-year anniversary of Father Damien Massenet conducting the first Catholic Mass on the water. It sits here on what is known as Marriage Island. The roots of this tree from the shape of a heart. It's believed that wedding ceremonies have taken place on this island all the way back to the Mexican Revolution. Hey guys, I know you're sitting on Marriage Island? It's the perfect place to propose. No pressure. No pressure.
Woo woo!
He's nervous now. All right. Now this area of the water, folks, is called Old Mill Crossing. Back before bridges were popular, this was a crossing site for stagecoaches and cattle drives. It was also the site of the Nat Lewis Mill, was grinding up grain for locals in the area. Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders crossed this area very often during his day. Now we had Marriage Island on that side, and if you need it, Divorce Island right here. I'm kidding, it's not even an island. Now looking out in front of the boat, you're going to see a bullet-shaped steeple out here. This is the Bexar County Courthouse. That building was finished in 1897. You work there? You do? I've never seen the inside, thankfully. Yeah. The building was finished in 1897, and it is the longest running courthouse in all of Texas. All right. Off to the left of the side of the boat, you'll see the beautiful Tower of Americas. Look at the very top. The American flag is up there. And you see the gargoyles sticking out? You remember the 80s version of Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
That is not worth a spell. I know, that upset me too. Now keep looking at that same building right here. You're going to see faces looking at you in pairs of two. See them? I can kind of line them up a little bit. These are called grotesque spaces. The Smith brothers who financed this tower back in the 20s were superstitious. They believed those spaces would ward off bad business practices. Didn't work out too well for them, folks. When they finished this tower in 1929, it cost over $3 million. And then the stock market crashed. And they had to sell it for under $300,000. Yep. Let's talk about a flood here in San Antonio that literally changed the way the water was and is used today. September 9th, 1921, there's a tropical storm in San Antonio. And it rains 21 inches in the first hour. All that water came rushing to downtown. It rose up to 9 feet above this bridge right here, folks. 50 people lose their lives, over $1 million in damages, so the Corps of Engineers comes up with the idea to dig out the flood channel. The natural flow of the water in San Antonio makes the shape of a horseshoe. They dig out the tips of the horseshoe and add 2 floodgates. One of those floodgates is right here. We're going to go onto the flood channel. Before we do, off to the right, you've got the International Building. From 68 to 98, that was San Antonio's public library. Today, it's home to the trade offices of the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Now, folks, look back behind me at the Tower Life Building from this angle. Guests say from this angle, the Tower Life Building looks like a big ship coming straight at us. Can y'all see it? Mm-hmm. They even say, if you stare at it long enough, you can hear the horn of that ship. You heard it? That wasn't me, that was the building night. Alright folks, now the natural flow of the water goes left right here. Another 185 miles where it then merges with the Guadalupe and then off into the Gulf of Mexico. But look off in the distance here, folks. You'll see another floodgate. See it? That is floodgate number 5. That's a 15-foot drop-off. That's the only thing keeping us from making it to Cancun. Should we risk it? No, I don't want to get fired again. Right up here, you'll see these locks on the bridge. Just like Paris, we have our very own Love Lock Bridge. Legend has it, you write your names on a lock. Did y'all? You write your names on the lock. You lock it on the bridge right here. You throw the keys in the water, and you're locked together forever. A lot more than 16 years and 10 years later, forever. Unless you're not too sure, you can use a combination lock. Did you know that? I'm not lying, folks. There are combination locks up there. You know how I know? 3 of them are mine. And just so you guys know, it's only good for 2 years because we clean the keys up every 2 years. I'm kidding. It's good forever. It's good forever. We don't clean those keys up. They go down to the Gulf of Mexico. Now coming up on the right, you're going to see the Drury Plaza Hotel. 1929, it was the Alamo National Bank. 2007, Drury turned the bank lobby into a hotel lobby. Coming up on the left, you're going to see the San Fernando Cathedral. It'll be a little difficult to see. You'll get a glimpse as we go by. See these steps right here on the left side of the boat? You're going to follow those steps to the very top of street level and then look off in the distance. You'll see the twin towers of that cathedral. See it up there, folks, off of the trees there? That is the oldest church in all of Texas. That church was started back in 1731 by 16 families of the Canary Islands. I highly recommend visiting that cathedral, folks. One, it is very beautiful. The defenders of the Alamo are interned at the front entrance of the cathedral. And at 9 o'clock tonight, they'll project a laser light show on the front of the cathedral called the Saga. Pretty neat. Coming up on the bridge right here, this tree. It's the most famous bald cypress tree on the water, standing 90 feet tall. It is estimated to be over 300 years old. We call it the Ben Milam tree. Way back in 1835, Colonel Ben Milam has rallied together 300 Texas volunteers. And he's leading them on a 5-day operation known as the Siege of Behar. Sadly, during that operation, Colonel Ben Milam is fatally struck in the head by a Mexican sniper. It is believed the sniper that took that shot was sitting at the very top of that tree there.
Oh, wow.
Now, folks, that was the Siege of Behar. That's what sparked Santa Anna to march the entire Mexican army up here in 1836. When Santa Anna arrives from Mexico City with the army, he stops at the San Fernando Cathedral. At the time, they only had one tower. He has his men raise a red flag above that tower. You know what that red flag stood for? No quarter given. He was not here for prisoners. And that's when the Battle of the Alamo took place in March of 1836. Pretty neat how that cathedral, that tree, and the Alamo are all connected in that timeline. Right on the left, you got the Jury Inn Suites, 1921, it was City Public Services. 1998, Jury purchased the abandoned facility and restored it to its 1920s glamour. Over on the right side of the boat, you've got the Esquire Tavern. Esquire Tavern opened up in December of 1933. Just minutes after the repeal of Prohibition, it was already a fully stocked bar. Before that, it was a barbershop folks came to every day for a haircut. They were definitely getting the buzz. Right above the bridge to the right, you've got the Aztec Theater. Now, the Aztec Theater opened up in 1926. It was a silent motion picture house. It fell into deterioration in the 1970s, was fully restored and reopened in 2009 as a multi-purpose venue. Folks, they say if you're really quiet, you can still hear some of those silent motion pictures. Now here's another location we can pick you up. I'll take you on a tour. More jealous guest of you, make sure to give them a wave. These guys are going to get the same tour you guys are getting. The only difference is their boat captain won't look as good as Captain Brian. Don't worry, guys. Those boats coming. You see the bridge coming up. It is named the Hugman Bridge, but it is more famously known as our Selena Bridge. Who's familiar with our beloved Selena? She was the queen of Tejano music in the early 90s. Sadly, she was taken from us too soon. In 1997, Jennifer Lopez would train her in the movie Selena. In that movie, there's a scene where Selena and Chris, having just been married, are celebrating their new love on a bridge. That is this bridge right here from the movie Selena, starring Jennifer Lopez. Now don't worry, if you didn't get a photo from this side, it looks exactly the same on the other side. I say it's a better photo because then I'm in it. And that is the side J-Lo sat on in the movie. Off to the right here, you got the Macara Hotel. 1901, it was the L. Frank Saddlery Company. 2003, Omni turns it into the Macara Hotel. Over on the left side of the boat, way back in 1853, four brothers of the Society of Mary come to town. They open up St. Mary's School for Boys. By 1966, it's St. Mary's School of Law, and they move to their current home in San Antonio. Former students of that law school purchased the facility. They had 6 floors and reopened as a hotel in 1968. Today, it is the Omni La Mancha del Rio, the mansion on the river. Huh? not aware if this one is haunted. I know the manager and Emily Morgan are. Way on the right, you'll see this bar. Back when it was a school, that was the dean's office. They say in order to convert it to a bar, all they had to do was add tables. Y'all right here, this is the best boat, Captain on the water right here. Captain David. Yep. Now get ready to see an optical illusion. Off to your left, look straight up above Bubblegum Shrimp, and it looks like one wall standing by itself. But I promise you, it's an entire building. That is the Nix Hospital. It opened up in 1930. It was the first fully functional hospital in all of the United States. It was also the first hospital to have air conditioning. It closed down in 2019, awaited on its new purpose as a hotel. But there were famous folks born there, including actress and comedian Carol Burnett, famous Marine Corps Commander Carter Oliver North, and for my Fast and Furious fans, Michelle Rodriguez was born in the hospital. Really? She was born there? That makes her, I mean, she's famous. I gotta get her autograph. Well, right here, folks, this hotel is the Hyatt Regency. Opened up in 1981. They wanted to go more than 16 floors when they opened up. But there's a law in Texas that states you cannot cast a shadow over any war memorial site. Now, since the Alamo is a block away on the other side, they determined that 16 floors was just tall enough so as not to cast a shadow over the Alamo. Now, believe it or not, folks, I have family from the Alamo. Yep. Last summer, it got so hot outside, they got to fight in the courtyard. But if you visited the Alamo a long time ago, I highly recommend a new visit because they've added some new artifacts, including they reconstructed the front entrance to the original compound. It's pretty neat. Go check it out. Once we come around this pillar right here in the middle of the water, look on the right side of the boat, up high in the sky, and you'll see what looks like a birthday cake on top of a building. Right up here, folks, you'll see with the Texas flag on top. That is the Casino Club building. Now don't get your hopes up. There's no slot machines in there. 1927, when that building opened up, it was home to two organizations, the San Antonio Club and the Casino Association. Therefore, naming it the Casino Club building. In the 1970s, the building was converted to residential space. One of the famous tenants in that building was the author, Alex Haley, who wrote the book Roots. Alrighty, folks, look left, look right. You'll see all kinds of cuisine down here on Restaurant Square. We've got Mexican food. We've got Italian Mexican food. We've got German Mexican food. We've got Indian Mexican food. Can you guess what my favorite is?
Mexican.
Whatever my wife cooks. Box number 3. Now, earlier in our tour, we talked about the flood and the flood channel. Well, because of that flood channel, advocates in San Antonio back in the 20s, they considered to fill this part of the water in with concrete. Just get rid of it. Young Robert H.H. Hugman returns home graduating from the University of Texas. He says, don't fill the water with concrete, I've got an idea. Inspired by his visit to New Orleans, he comes up with a plan that he calls the Shops of Aragon and Romula. Funded in the 1930s at over $400,000, the Riverwalk was complete in 1941. However, businesses weren't too sure about opening up down here because the area might still be prone to flooding. So Robert Hugman, in order to show confidence in his design, put his office right here on the right in the Clipper building coming up. You're going to see his name on the building and a statue of Robert Hugman right there by the stairs. He is the father of the Riverwalk. All the beautiful stairways, the arch bridges, the sidewalks, everything you see is all part of his design. Sure enough, 1946, the flood waters returned to San Antonio. The flood channel does its job, and no damages occur on this side of the water. So Caceria opens up right here on the right in 1946. They are the oldest restaurant on the river, and they're also credited with boats on the river. Back in the day, while you're waiting for your food, you could jump in a gondola and go for a stroll around town. Alright, get ready to look off in the distance, to the left side of the boat. Out here, keep looking left, Coming around the corner there, some of y'all should see it already. The Tower of America is out there. See it up there?
Oh, yeah.
Standing 750 foot tall. That was the centerpiece of the 1968 World Fair. At the very top, there's an observation deck and a rotating restaurant. You can take an elevator to the very top, unless you're one of the crazy people on board the boat. Twice a year, they open up the stairwell. 952 stairs to the top, folks. Guess what the record to get up those stairs is?
18 minutes.
I did it in 5 minutes and 18 seconds. You believe that?
No.
Yes.
Hurtful. But
I don't
true,
believe
with
it.
me. It was yeah, down pretty quick. It was a 16-year-old kid back in 1981. You know why it's still a record? Because you're like me. You heard 5 minutes and 18 seconds. You're like, nah, kid, you can keep that. I can't even get out of bed in 5 minutes. Now we took a left back to where we came from. This is not the natural part of the river here, folks. We're leaving that right now. This is what we call the man-made extension. It was dug out in 1968 in support of the World Fair here in San Antonio. That way they could get guests from the fairgrounds to the river and vice versa. Now this area of the water is also known as Peach Park, named after former San Antonio Mayor Howard Peach. And it is home to San Antonio's public art garden, as you'll see artwork on both the left and right side of the water. Looking way out in front of the boat here, you're going to see two hotels. This one here is the Marriott. This one is the Marriott River Center. Now we're going to go get a closer look of it later. They built it back in 1988. Before they built it, folks, there was already a hotel in that very spot. Is he okay? You okay? Okay. Before they built it, folks, there was already a hotel there. The Fairmont had been there since 1906. Because of that, it was a historic building. They couldn't just tear it down. But guess what they did? They moved it. That's right, they put that 3-story hotel on $36 with 8 tires each. And they moved it 5 blocks away to its current home of South Alamo and Nueve Street. You can see that on YouTube. Look up the Fairmont Hotel on YouTube and you will see the 1985 cupboards of that hotel being moved. You saw it live? Were you 15 then? I got a question for you guys. Who knows the name of our river? It is the San Antonio River. All right, bonus question. You get this right, you can have my job. Before it was named San Antonio, what did the natives call this place?
San Antonio.
Home. But they actually called the river Yanaguana, which meant restful waters. All right, both the river and the city are named San Antonio, but which one got its name first? Show of hands, who thinks the city got its name first? Who thinks the river got its name first? Now who Googled it has the answer, because I don't know.
Oh.
I'm kidding. It was the river. Way back in 1691, Father Damien Massanet is coming across the Americas on a Spanish mission. He stops to conduct the first Catholic Mass on the water, June 13th, 1691. Now, since June 13th is also celebrated in the Catholic Church as the Feast of St. Anthony, Father Massanet found it fitting to name the river San Antonio. Pretty neat, right? If he conducts that Mass on a different day, we'd have a whole different name here. But as it were, we were named after St. Anthony. Now, St. Anthony was from the country of Portugal. So during the 1968 World Fair, the country of Portugal brought a statue of St. Anthony to give to the city as a gift. It stood at the Portugal Pavilion in the World Fair. Once the fair was over, it was moved to its new home right here on the left side of the boat. Not the people walking by, those are real people, but the statue they're walking by is the statue of St. Anthony de Padua. Now, St. Anthony de Padua is the patron saint of lost items. So if you happen to lose your cell phone in the water today, pray to St. Anthony, your insurance will cover it. Folks, let me tell you about the boats we have on our fleet. We have 43 of these beautiful boats with 5 different designs. The boat you're on with me is our Dove boat, which stands for peace. We have a boat with the sun on it. San Antonio averages over 300 days of sunlight. We have a boat with the number 300 on it. San Antonio celebrated its tricentennial birthday back in 2018. And then we have a boat in honor of the 5 Spanish missions. But my favorite boat design is the one you see right here. It is the military-themed boat. San Antonio is known as Military City, USA. We have one of the largest active duty and retirement communities here, folks. That's what brought me here. I retired here in 2021 from the Army. That being said, do we have any other former or current members of the military on board the boat? If so, raise your hand. All right, round of applause for our military. Now, likewise, do we have any law enforcement, first responders, or nurses on board? Any of those heroes? No? All right, how about the greatest hero of them all? Do we have any teachers on board? Teachers? All right, round of applause for our teachers. The greatest hero of all, because they take care of our kids when we don't want to. Hashtag free childcare. I'm kidding. Folks, welcome to the River Center Mall.
What
Built
you
back in
did, Tim
1988, it's the third largest mall in San Antonio.
Law enforcement.
And it's the only mall in Texas you can drive a boat up to.
And
Well, I can.
I tutor now, fourth grade man.
So Jesus.
Over 100 stores and restaurants in this mall, including an IMAX theater where you can watch the Battle of the Alamo.
They're good.
There's also an aquarium in this mall. And hey, kids, dads, Legoland is in this mall. That's right. Folks, when that Legoland first opened up, it was so popular, kids and dads were waiting around for blocks.
Where did you?
Dad jokes are
Where
the
were you? Law
best.
enforcement.
United States.
You know who likes a good dad joke? Other dads. You know who can't stand dad jokes?
That's big.
Moms, because they hear them every day. But
It's
that's how we
gotten
keep
more
on our toes, right,
interesting
guys?
since I left.
All right, folks. Unfortunately, our time
This is
together is
sad.
coming to an end. You guys want to go around again?
Yes.
All right, get in line and get another ticket.
What did you say? You said it was sad. Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Very unnecessary.
All righty, folks. For your safety, please remain seated until I get the boat tied off. I will let you know when it's safe to stand up. At this time, please look around and make sure you have all the possessions you brought with you today, to include cell phones, drinks, children. Now, folks, tipping your boat captain for a job well done is certainly appropriate and highly appreciated. I myself will take Cash App, Venmo, Cash, Taylor Swift tickets, and high fives. If you enjoyed the tour with me today, folks, my name was Captain Brian. If you did not, it was Captain Steve. And I gotta say, folks, of all the tours that I've given here on the Lovely River, you guys have certainly been my most recent. On a serious note, folks, thanks for joining me tonight. On behalf of the city of San Antonio Go Rio Cruise, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. Enjoyed a good laugh. Learn some